You're never going to believe this, but then again, hey, I drive a 2012 Honda Civic with probably about 100,000 miles on it. So there's going to be, some problems when it comes to driving something that old, right? Literally over a decade old. Anyways, I've been having some car problems. And for a few weeks now, I've been just trying to use ChatGPT, YouTube, Google, asking friends, asking family members for some advice, right? How to fix this particular, problem with my car. And it was just like headache after headache after headache. I thought that the issue was fixed, drive it, and it seems to be working perfectly fine for a few short days. And then sure enough, something else happens. And then most recently, I tried fixing it based on ChatGPT's recommendations, and I made the issue way worse. Finally, I decided to just pull off rip off the Band-Aid, bite the bullet, and take it to the mechanic. And sure enough, they fixed it in one day. And did it cost me money? Absolutely, right? Because, hey, let's just figure this out, right? And when it's an exchange of service, right, there's going to be an expense to that. Hey, fix my car so I don't have to exchange that, time of me trying to do it all on my own and make the problem way worse. Here's some money, fix the car, get the car fixed, bada boom, bada bing, okay? Now, this isn't the first time this has happened to me, honestly. I'm honestly surprised that my car is still lasting as long as it does. But it had me thinking on my ride home today from the mechanic, how many guys probably do the same thing on their own health and fitness journey? Instead of trying to take their body to a professional, they try to figure it out on their own. And hear me out, all right? I get so many guys that apply to join our coaching program. And one of the questions that I always ask is, what have you tried doing before in the past? And I always hear the same answers. Keto, fasting, carnivore, Weight Watchers, Noom, maybe Beachbody or P90X or maybe even V-Shred. And it just boils down to them just trying what I was trying to do to fix my vehicle, which is not really knowing what to do. So think about it from this perspective. Health and fitness, and then we're going to utilize my mechanic. My mechanic has been in business for over 10 years. Myself, I've been in business since 2017. Okay, and I've helped thousands of guys. He's probably serviced thousands of different cars. He can see the blind spots. In fact, he knows exactly what he's doing so well that he can actually determine, hey, this is also a problem. You might not be dealing with any of the, side effects now, right, with your car. But eventually, if you don't get this replaced, you're going to have some issues. And I'm sure if you ever took your car to a mechanic, they probably said the same exact thing. Why? It's not because they're trying to twist your arm and, get every single last cent out of you. It's because they know, hey, based on my experience, right? I can hear certain things when I'm driving the car. When I'm underneath the hood, I can see certain things, these blind spots that you're not aware of. Because of what? Expertise. Well, it's very similar in my industry as well. Coaching thousands of guys, right? It's like, hey, I know that for most people, when they say their issue is portion control, it's not. They just don't know how to eat properly for their body types. In fact, most guys that join our coaching program, they're eating way more food and losing way more body fat. So how is the issue portion control if it's, you're eating way more food, but yet you're getting results? It's because the issue is not portion control. You just don't know that because it's a blind spot. You also might not know, for example, if let's just say, hey, you're tracking your macros, doing these workouts. I say this all the time. Albert Einstein has one of the best quotes ever. The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results, right? So with most guys, they'll try some fad diet, let's say keto, right? Cut out their carbohydrates, not knowing that they're actually losing water weight, not body fat. They see the number on the scale go down, eventually hit a stall. They don't know what adjustments to do. They just think, I should probably just stop eating, right? Like I should just not be eating as much. Maybe I should try fasting and keto, combine the two. Next thing you know, it's like you're making that gunshot wound way worse. Just digging in way deeper, right? Making the problem, once again, magnified, way worse. So instead of, once again, trying to figure it out on your own, because I always learn this, especially with my car, because I'm like, hey, I'm a man, right? Like I don't need to take it to the mechanic. Like YouTube's free, Google's free, ChatGPT's free. What do I always do? I end up typically wasting more money trying to fix the issue out on my own, right? Because I gotta buy this part, I gotta do this. I'm also wasting a lot of time, let's face it. I'm a busy guy, right? My time when I'm not invested into my coaching clients, it's invested to either church or my family, right? Which is a priority to me. So now it's like, hey, I'm underneath the hood, trying to figure this out, trying to look at my phone and watch this YouTube video and trying to figure all this out. Like, it's not my role. You know, I'm not the professional in that industry. So I'm wasting my time. And let's face it, you can always make your money back in life. We live in the US of A, right? Good old land of abundance. You can go sell some crap on Facebook Marketplace, probably go sit in your garage that you haven't used in years. You go donate blood or plasma, make $100 like that. Like, you could easily make money. Can't make that time back. It's a precious commodity. So for me, I always have to learn the hard way. When it's like, hey, instead of me wasting all this time, wasting all this money, right, trying to figure out on my own, making the issue way worse, it's probably best for me to put my ego and the pride aside and just call my mechanic and say, hey, dude, I got an issue. Can you take care of it? So my question to you now is, if you're overweight, you're lacking the muscle, lacking the energy, lacking the confidence, you haven't looked and felt your best in years. Maybe you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, maybe high A1C levels and you're type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic. Let's just say like you can't fit into your old favorite clothes, low sex drive, low motivation, you're not proud of the man that you see staring back in the mirror, and yet you continue to try these diets over and over and again, continue to try these different workouts over and over again, only see a little bit of results, but eventually fall off track because they're not sustainable. They're not personalized for your body type, nor your schedule or your lifestyle, hence why you continue to fall off track and just regain all that weight right back and then some. My question to you is this. What's going to happen if you continue, right? As Albert Einstein once said, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. What's going to happen if you continue on those trends for another 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 years? When is it eventually going to click for you that, man, I should probably do something about this? I should probably seek professional help before it gets way worse. Because the reality is, history is always going to repeat itself unless you decide to make a change. And so the question to you is, what's going to happen if you don't make a change? Do you think your health's going to get way worse? Well, how worse? If, let's just say, you don't have any medications now, what's going to happen in 10 years? Are you going to be taking, high blood pressure meds, high cholesterol medications, metformin for your diabetes? And let's say you're already lacking the energy now, can't even play with your kids. Well, what's going to happen in 10 years? If, let's just say, you're somebody that has a lot of family values, and let's just say your kids are growing older and 10, 15, 20 years down the road, who knows? Maybe they're at that age where now they're getting married. How are you going to look in 10 years, 20 years, if, let's just say, you never made a change? Are you going to be in attendance at the wedding? Because some people, they might be in so worse health, they're not even going to make it that long. Or are you going to be like size 4X suits, and then you're hating how you look, you're hating how you feel in that suit, you're hating the photos, right, that are there, that's going to last a memory, right? You have the opportunity here to make a change. Who knows? Maybe you appreciate so much of your family and you value them so much that you can't wait to spend that time, right? When your kids are older and they're at that age where now they can have kids of their own, and these are your grandkids. Well, okay, how are your grandkids going to remember you? Bed rest, just sitting around all day because you can barely get up, using a cane or a walker because you're, no muscle on you, so you have no core strength, can't even leave the house, need assisted living. This is the reality. Hard reality, right? A hard pill to swallow for most guys, but remember, pain is the greatest motivator that's out there, not pleasure. If, let's just say, there was a pot of gold in the middle of the woods, I'm sure you run pretty fast. But if there was a bear trying to kill you or kill your kids, you're going to run 10 times faster. That's a fact. So maybe you need to focus on, hey, what is the pain that you're trying to avoid? And hopefully that encourages you to start taking your health a little bit more seriously and start taking action. But once again, what are you going to do? Are you going to go back to the diets, You're going to go back to the workouts that's already failed you before in the past? Or are you actually going to put the ego and the pride aside and seek a professional? And if you want access to what it's like to work with us and learn exactly a 3-step plan that myself and our coaching members have used for years to lose fat and build muscle all within 12 weeks. In fact, hundreds of you guys have been so successful inside this plan using these 3 steps, they've been actually able to get off their medications for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and reversing their type 2 diabetes. All you got to do is just click on the link down below in the description box if you're watching this on YouTube right now. Sign up for a completely free fat loss training guide. It will lead you to a 10-minute video that explains everything, and you'll learn exactly the next steps to take to actually take your health seriously and finally get the results that you want. So if that sounds anything like you, click on the link down below, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scouts!